Hey, what's going on? It's BJ here. This video is on 7 occultists you might want to know or learn some more about, in case you already do know about them. First, if you don't know who this is, Manly P. Hall. He wrote The Secret Teachings of All Ages, probably his most well-known book. But the dude overall was a super genius of his time. It almost seems like people have even wondered where he got his information from, because he was writing such large volumes of work at such a young age. He was a 33rd degree Mason honorary, but he didn't go through the right system. So I just highly recommend checking out his stuff. And one thing he brought to my attention just recently, and I totally missed it, but ever since I started studying Gematria, is he talks about the number of Lucifer is 741. 666 has nothing to do with Lucifer. And 741, and this is according to the Rosicrucians and numerology. And that's how you know they code all their stuff, guys. So when you break down Lucifer, right, breaks into 74, but when you do it under reduction, under the reduction system, you get a total of 38. Now, 38, when you take 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 38, you get 741. And so that's why this is the secret encoded number for Lucifer. If you haven't seen my other video on Jesus Loves Lucifer, I highly recommend you check it out. But these guys created our religions, and they definitely code it all over the place. And then I'm going to jump into the next guy here, Albert Pike. Now, everyone should know this dude was a super genius. Okay? And I have actually right here, I have Morals and Dogma right here, esoteric book for Scottish Rite use only, to be returned upon withdrawal or death of recipient. The 1949 edition. Found this in an antique shop. But, and that's actually funny, here's a petition to join. Some guy tried to get me to join, but if you read this book, it's not only is it a slow read, because sometimes you have to reference the work. The dude was a super genius. He spoke several languages. I'm not saying what he did was positive all the time, by any means. Not saying that at all. But just to get into it, so this book, Morals and Dogma, is going to lead us into the next guy. And Morals and Dogma, the lighting's pretty bad in here. You can see the double-headed phoenix, but Morals and Dogma was completely a rip-off of Dogmas and Ritual by Elias Levi. This is our next guy on the list. If you don't know who he is, he's super well known for, of course, the Baphomet, which, if you don't know or understand the origins of Baphomet, first, look at what Levi wrote about it, considering he's the first one to draw this. 2, just look at the history. It comes from Baphomet, which was a term for Muhammad. If you just have to look back, sure, the Knights Templar were like forced basically into saying that they kissed the asses of Baphomet or Baphomet. And this whole deity thing it's really interesting. You just need to learn where it comes from. He also created this symbol, really popular in esoteric occult circles, the Key of Solomon, the Triangle of Solomon. Okay, this is the triangle thing with the eye. That is not only is it Masonic code, but if you get into magic, you'll understand more of why they throw that up all the time. So I just want to keep moving along, though, too. So if you don't know his work, go check it out. He basically wrote Morals and Dogma. Albert Pike, part of the reason why he was a genius was that he stole the work, and then he created a 33-degree system and put himself at the head of world masonry. And if you want to learn more about that, check out Frater X's work. He's done some awesome work on Albert Pike. The next guy I'm going to get to, if you don't know this face, this is W LeadBeater. And this dude was really big and high up there with Madame Blavatsky in her time. And he wrote a huge amount of work on the astral plane and its inhabitants. It's an awesome thing. You can find the audiobook online. I think Josh Reeves does one. But if you don't know who this guy is, highly recommend you check into his stuff, especially if you're curious about the Great White Brotherhood, some of the origins and this stuff, and about these cultists and what they know about the astral plane and the practice on it. And that can bring us into the next guy, Robert Monroe. If you don't know who this guy is, he's one of my favorite guys to listen to. He's dead now. But he created the term out-of-body experience. And before this, it was strictly known as astral travel or astral plane. Now, I've been going out-of-body for a long time, since I was 18. It's like, 12 years now plus. And if you haven't yet, it's not a cult. It's something we do every night when we go to sleep. I highly suggest you do a self-initiated out-of-body experience. Once you're out of body in this world, in this reality, out of body, you will blow yourself and you will know. It will no longer be a belief. William Buhlman also is like kind of continuing the work. I think those two are the two leaders in the out-of-body research, which has nothing to do with occult or esoteric other in the sense that it's hidden from our natural and normal lives. It's hardly talked about. There he is again. Next guy I want to get into is Alan Moore, and if you don't know who he is, just look him up. He helped create the stuff for V for Vendetta. Also, he did the Watchmen series. He's got other From Hell. Super influential, but he talks a lot about magic, and you can learn a lot about him and these occultists and what they practice and stuff. Also, Morrison. If you don't know his work, he's also I don't know if they're a comic or a comic book writer is the right term, just like Alan Moore. They're considered graphic novels, or I forget the term, but whatever. You should listen to some of his lectures on magic. Yeah, he's got the strange accent, kind of hard to listen to at times, but if you get what he's saying, just genius stuff. You can learn a lot about magic and how different occultists use it. Now with that, I want to jump into some Gematria magic in the news. Cesar Chavez's widow dies at age 88. If you don't know about Cesar Chavez, well, CC 33, him and his Dolores, Huerta, they have basically helped create the Farmers Union, and there's big misconception that says, they're like kind of seen as a thing for pro-immigration or pro-illegals, but just to get into the thing about how they present you these people with their heroes, because he's like thought of as this really good guy, is you have to understand what they're working with. His Gematria is 666, and he's got the 33 in his name. And just to get into this article, that's exactly why it's a big deal when she dies at age 88, because their whole movement was really big in California. And it's like California's 88. And Dolores Huerta worked with Chavez, 88. That's why it's perfect that they're there, and that's what they're well known for. And just to slightly go off a little tangent, this is just Minnesota Grand Chapter, Order of Eastern Star. This is just a look at some of the Eastern Star, which is like the Freemasonry for women. This is just like the big girls club. And it actually has more members than Masonry worldwide. So Maya Angelou. So this is how you know that with the whole civil rights thing, Malcolm X, MLK Jr., who died at a Masonic temple, you got to understand these guys were presented to you. Okay, Laura Ingalls Wilder, of course. All these famous big women. Most people don't realize that there's a reason. Clara Barton, Rosa Parks. Again, the civil rights movement just complete. This is why these stories. It was even said that it wasn't even Rosa Parks that incident actually happened to in the whole story. It was actually a teenage girl, and that they just pretty much ripped off the story and attributed it to her. And also, men can be in Eastern Star. There's way more people. That's just a little list that they presented to you. So Kimball Slice died. I'm not going to go into his Gematria stuff. If you want to hear some good stuff on that, go to Zach K. Hubbard's channel. But one thing I just noticed was that Kimball Slice is 44. Kill is 44. Definitely there seems to be a connection between his death and Muhammad Ali's, and some even say Prince's. But one thing I noticed right away and this is what I want to point out that nobody else has seen, there were tons of news agencies reporting that Kimble Slice dead at 44. So this is what I'm saying. Whether or not they knew it or what, but there were several sites, and then some of them corrected themselves. But I just wanted to show you, that was one thing I noticed right away, and whether it's in the subconscious or not, and whether he died or not, or how he died or whatever. Next article, and this is all in today's news, so it's just been a barrage of Gematria and coding. So this one is firefighter salute Bretagne or Bretagne, whatever. I'm guessing that's French. But it was a canine, a search and rescue canine girl who was euthanized at 16. Okay, you have to understand, this dog, when you read the article, she worked for FEMA. And these are all firefighters giving her the salute here. So we can just look into her Gematria. FEMA 16, this is exactly why they made a big deal about this dog dying at 16. And if you actually go into it, like, this is like their poster dog. They even have footage of, yeah, right there. It's 16th birthday. Oh, we get a birthday party for the dog. Then, so just to get into the name of it all, you see the 432, which is direct relation to 666, which is being saluted by the firefighters. 432 plus its inverse, 234. Then she's got the double 36 and the 72 all in the name. This is a perfect stage name for FEMA here. And so the 36 angels and the 36 demons to make the 72 names of God. And you go into the hurricane, FEMA, it's 2552. It's got the inverse. So, you know, it's always called out for all these hurricanes. It's really well known for, of course, Katrina. It's something I thought I'd throw out there. Who knows? I'm not saying. It's just, sometimes I think it's a universal code. And then another article, you know, and they just love pumping it out there. But this whole Simpsons 33, if you didn't know. With that, I'm just going to end the article. Please let me know of these occultists, how many of them you've heard of, if you knew of them all. I mean, I did, and how well you know their works. But alright, aloha, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, and don't worry, be happy. Alright, peace.